I study the marriage of space and time.
The perfect couple.
One never knows from where the next great leap forward is going to come, or from whom.
What if I reverse time to see what happened at the beginning of time itself?
Wind back the clock.
Wind back the clock.
Keep going.
I don't know how.
Yet.
Keep winding.
Where to?
The film is The Theory of Everything. We are here with actor Eddie Redmayne, who played Stephen Hawking in the movie. Eddie, congratulations on a wonderful film, transcendent performance. Thanks so much for coming on Flick Nation.
Thanks for having me.
Stephen Hawking, it's hard to imagine a more challenging role. How did you prepare for this? What was your process?
Do you know what? What's interesting about working on film is, in theatre you would go and a director would say, look, this is how we're going to do it, and this is how we're going to go about it. And the weird thing about making films is no one sort of tells you that. You as actors, you tend to sort of prepare in a vacuum, and then you arrive on set and you start filming it and deliver it. But when I was auditioning for this, so I was speaking to James, the director, on the phone, he asked me the same question, like, how will you go about it? And I remember thinking, God, why had I not thought of an answer to that question before getting on this phone call? And so I made up some sort of on-the-cuff remark, but ended up following that instinct, which was basically to work with a team of people. So I worked with an amazing makeup designer, an amazing costume designer, a vocal coach, and a choreographer, a dancer. And we went to motor neuron clinics and met specialists there, worked out what we thought Stephen's physical decline could have been, but met carers and families of other people suffering from the disease, and then sort of met Stephen and Jane, his first wife, and their family, and Jonathan, Jane's second husband. And so it was really trying to just like immerse yourself in the whole world of it, and then from that create a performance.
The physicality. Well, when I look at this, I see two performances that you gave. One is this incredible physical performance, but I would almost think that once you've got that aspect down, the true challenge is the internal performance. I'm watching you in this film and I'm thinking, he can't move, and he is acting. Where did that come from? Tell me about that process.
Thank you, that's really kind. When I met Stephen, it became absolutely clear that for him the disease is secondary. He was given 2 years to live when he was 21, and just after a moment of sort of, I suppose, melancholia, he has just never looked back. He has always been someone that looks forward, and he has no interest in the disease. He doesn't like doctors. He doesn't, and I wanted to try and take from that, I suppose. So what I did is I spent 4 or 5 months leading up to the filming, working on all the physicality elements of the film, in order that they were so embedded that when it came to filming, I could just play with the other actors. And as you say, this is not a story. This is not a film about a disease. It's a story about a relationship, and it's it's a passionate and emotional story. And so I tried to make all of the disease end up being secondary. That was how I tried to go about it.
It's really amazing that not only you captured that physical aspect, but that you made him so real, because this is a person who is kind of superhuman. He really is almost a superhuman character. It almost would feel like another challenge would be to not overdo it.
Now that was, that's an interesting point. I suppose. Really, I just went back to all the documentary stuff I could find and all other people's opinions on him, and finding basically the intimate because we see Stephen as he is now, with the iconic voice and with the iconic silhouette and the machine and everything. There's something almost sort of robotic and godlike about him. But actually, when you trace it right back, you see this. You see each step of the progression and realise, it's obviously an incredibly specific and unique human story. And it felt like a great privilege for me to be able to go and trace through those steps.
It's sometimes we come across a film that is on a subject that is so huge that even a great film cannot possibly touch it. I remember years ago talking with James Cameron about Titanic. It's like, yeah, the movie was great,
Yeah.
but you've been in the real Titanic. And that's almost like this. What is it like to count Stephen Hawking as a friend? How did that relationship change you?
Well, it was I can't get over how privileged our lives as actors can be, and the people you get to meet, and Stephen was just, it was one of the great meetings of my life. I was horrifically embarrassing when I met him. I just spent the first 20 minutes telling him about himself because I was so nervous. But afterwards, just spending those moments, hearing the stories with the nurses, his just classic sort of one-liners, but it was just so joyful when Felicity came in, like he's a complete player and flirt, and you sort of saw all this, and it was, I'll never forget that day. Actually, that day we met Stephen, and then the following day we had dinner with Jane and Jonathan and Stephen's youngest child, Tim, and they were just great moments in my life that I will write away somewhere for the memoirs.
Well, we wish you the absolute best of luck and pass along our congratulations also to James Marsh and Felicity Jones. Both incredible efforts here, and we'll be rooting for you.
Thank you so much.
All the way through, my man.
That's so kind.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
There should be no boundary to human endeavor. However bad life may seem, while there is life, there is hope.
Thank you.
Sorry, did you say something?
I said, thank you.